Still focusing in on our men and talking about dressing, presentation, and manners for the modern man. And joining me on the show, I have Sami Murage, who's an image consultant from Dress to Impress. This man always looks sharp. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you, Joyce.
And yeah, lazima, unajua wewe sasa ndio business card.
An extension to my brand.
You have to be, hey, you look sharp.
Thank you, you too.
So it's a very basic conversation, but one that's very important to have, transforming boys into men, even in as far as the way they carry themselves, the way they treat ladies, the way they present themselves, because these are things we take for granted, but they count so much, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so dressing is one of the ways that someone, dressing well, at least, you know, is one of the ways that someone can sort of portray their good manners. And it also does help a man look appealing and attractive, doesn't it?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
We say that clothes makes a man. And as a modern man, one of the greatest things that you like to do is to project, a great personality. That is through the outside appearance. That is physical appearance. The way you are dressed from the head to toe. It's quite important. Yeah.
So, I know a lot of people will say, oh, you know, I don't have money to spend on clothes and, you know, just buying the latest things. But I think sort of looking good isn't a matter of being trendy. It's not about the fads, right?
Yes.
Maybe they're just some classic pieces that, you know, a person can invest in, or just even if you're buying, you know, secondhand or whatever, just looking for as good quality as you can find. There's just certain basic items that a man should keep.
Yes.
True?
Yeah.
What would be some of them?
Some of them, what I usually say, one of the greatest things that a man should have is a suit. And I've been able to interact with a lot of men, and most of the time that I talk to them, the one thing that they say is that the last time I wore a suit is when I did my wedding. So that is one thing. They need to have a suit. They need to, but I would say not just one, at least three.
Okay.
At least three, or at around five. Around five is a good number.
Okay.
Minimum of three and a maximum of around five. That would go. And then maybe you can have like jeans, especially if you want to dress down on over the weekend.
Yeah. But please, isifikie huku kwa matai. Hatutaki kuona vitu zako. Hatutaki. Tuko na zetu. Kila mtu ako na yake, hatutaki kuona zako. So talk to us about like jeans, because obviously, you know, growing up, our parents, that was the one thing they talk about, how men are sagging their jeans. And even the fit of the jeans is important, right?
Yeah, you know, when you sag a jeans, what kind of a message are you portraying? Because it's not just about dressing. Dressing communicates. It's giving out a story. Right. So when you wear something, what kind of a story are you telling?
Sure.
What kind of message are you communicating to the world? So the way you dress, even like a jean, or maybe you're dressing down over the weekend, what kind of a message are you portraying, or are you communicating to? Because I usually say dress because there is something that you want to achieve at the end of it, because it's not just about dressing, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe whatever you wear, you never know the kind of the person that you meet. Maybe it's a potential girlfriend or spouse, maybe a boss, maybe a customer and all that. Absolutely. So it's important.
Absolutely. I do believe we have some images that we want to show you now. I think we'll start with the ones of suits, and there we have them. So here are some very smartly dressed gentlemen, and talk to us about what we're seeing.
This is official suit, executive suit. This one you mostly wear it, especially when you do have an executive meeting. You are meeting potential customers, or you are going for an interview. That is executive business casual. You wear it maybe on a Friday when you still do have meetings. You can actually do that, and sometimes when you can just remove the jacket. Then that also executive business casual. That is when you are wearing a coat, but when you remove the jacket, then it becomes a smart casual. And you wear it mostly on a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can still dress down but still look very sharp.
Yeah. Be quite smart.
Yeah. And the thing with dressing well is that it can actually, it just makes you look so put together and sharp. Like, bank yako imeja. Account imeja.
Actually, people will respect you for that.
Yeah.
Because I say, it's not just about you. It's also about others. When you respect yourself by dressing nicely, you're also respecting others.
It's very true. Yeah. It's very true. You know, it's actually good that you've mentioned that, because I found this quote that I really want to share. It says, modern morality and manners suppress all natural instincts, keep people ignorant of the facts of nature, and make them fighting drunk. So it's like just having those good manners, presenting yourself well, that should suppress our natural instincts. And actually someone else says that we shouldn't confuse traditional behaviors with good manners. The definition of etiquette is gender neutral. It simply means we strive at all times to ensure a person in our company feels at ease. What I like about that is because a lot of times people will say, but if you see vile baba zetu walifanya, ama, you know, our grandparents never used to do that. But sometimes just because it's traditional doesn't mean it's the best thing to do.
It's very true.
Right?
It's very true.
Probably back in the day, you know, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers wouldn't spend as much energy and time as they do with manners, which obviously really matters today. If you're trying to get yourself a modern woman, tactics za ushago hazitakushna.
The boy child is under siege because, you know, the ladies, I would say like the women, are quite equipped. They attend a lot of forums, even watching a lot of fashion shows. So they always update themselves when it comes to dressing. But for a man, sometimes you don't get that knowledge, and you don't know what is really trending. And even when it comes to the etiquette part of it, we find that we are not also knowledgeable about what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do.
Before we get into etiquette and manners, when we were talking about the suits, you did mention, you know, try and have like 3 if you can. What colors should people lean on? Because siku hizi tunaona all sorts of things. Mara zingine ziko shiny, watu wanameremeta tu ni kama taa. They don't need street lights. Wako huko tu wanameremeta wakitembea, but like what are the default colors that you would suggest for a man? Because we're seeing, you know, men are being bold.
Men are quite bold, but not unless you're a preacher. You know, you can use the flashy colors and all that. But when it comes to daily work, or maybe you want to go out for meetings, there are colors that are recommended, and like navy blue, that is black as well. And even gray as well, you can actually use it. You don't have to use, you know, those flashy colors.
Absolutely.
But of course also, another mistake that men do when it comes to the choice of colors is also the way you've matched your shirt and the tie.
True.
And also the shoe as well.
Na tie isifike hapa katikati. Sio, tie is supposed to touch the belt. The tip of the tie.
Exactly. You got it right.
Anyway, let's move on to etiquette and manners. And I think we need a moment of silence because wanaume, tafadhali tunawaomba, mneza ngara juu tu chini, alafu mkiingia nyumba ya watu mnatoa viatu, tunaona tu mashimo tu kwa socks. Zinakaa zimeliwa tu na mapanya. Please, that is not a good look.
That's true.
Sometimes men actually forget, you know, even the details of their outfits.
And I usually say, I talk to women and tell them, the best gift that you can ever buy to your man or your boyfriend, either a pair of, you know, socks, belt, and also a wallet. Those are the classic things and stuff things that a lady should always buy. However, for a man, it's also important that you always have quite a number of pair of socks. But the socks that you wear should also match with your pant. And then you shouldn't be recycling them like that often without washing them, right? you know, sometimes you feel like, whom did I meet yesterday? And you're like, no, the kind of people that I'm meeting today, not the same group. So you can still recycle.
Wanafanya what's called the smell test. Badeko, sawa. Okay. And also in as far as like grooming, how you keep your hair, your nails.
Yes.
If there's a pet peeve of mine, it's dirty nails, in men. And hiyo kitu ya kukwana, unajua back in the day, when they'd have the kawan long nail on the pinky. What was the purpose of that nail?
I still wonder why. But usually I say that you can look very nice, but maybe your hair is not nicely done. When you want to maybe to have a long beard, not nicely done as well. So it's good. You balance all that.
Just at least take care of it.
Yes.
Make sure it's not, smelling. At least you've cleaned, and even just for your own personal hygiene.
Yes.
I mean, just for your own safety.
And now that you've mentioned about grooming as well, like it's good. It's advisable you shower like twice a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we were still young, we used to do it's called the passport.
Yeah.
From here and then up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's advisable that for men, you have to do it maybe at least twice a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about being gentlemen, right? And now manners for the modern man.
Yes.
I guess depending on where you've lived, or if you've even, it's almost like it's like a very rare privilege for a man to open a door for you nowadays, or to let you pass.
Yes.
Yeah. So tuseme mnaingia mahali, the doors are jamaa na kusukuma na and you're there with your bags and your groceries. I mean, what's happening as far as manners, and why aren't we seeing gentlemen anymore? A lot of women complain about that.
I don't want to say that I really want to side with the men, but sometimes you find that at one point maybe you can try to pull a chair for someone, or maybe open a door to someone, and then they say I can do it for myself.
Why?
But what you've said is very correct, that you should be a gentleman enough and open the door for maybe you are the people who are older than you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't do it for, younger women, and those babes who are saying that I can do it for myself, by then nyenye mnaharibia watu vitu.
Wanafanya the boy child ana shughuli.
Yeah, no. And just because and I think there's also a group of ladies that just because he's opened the door for you doesn't mean he wants to marry you.
Yeah,
okay, please just
just
chini. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to get engaged tomorrow, but he's just trying to express good manners, and I think we should allow men to do that. But to the men, as you're saying, I think the challenge then would be, if you're not going to do it for peers or women our age, at least do it for older women.
Yes,
right.
That is very
like
true.
If you see a lady in the line and she's older than you, let her pass, help her carry her bags across the street, whatever it is, right?
That is very true.
Although huku Nairobi kubeba bags across the street, ametoroka na mizigo yako.
I'll even kwa lift, so unapata, there are so many women, you are queuing to get into a lift, and the man is there, you are still struggling to get in.
And the women you let.
Yes.
Nowadays people don't even let
the
ladies or older ladies sit down.
Yes, it's good to be a gentleman enough and allow the women to get in first. And even for the elderly and people who are of higher authority than yourself, it's quite important.
How should a young man today carry himself in front of his in-laws? So say we're talking about it's Relationship Tuesday,
Yes.
You really like this girl. Maybe you've heard her dad is very strict. How do you sort of present yourself to the person that you're hoping will hand over his daughter to you and become your future father-in-law? What are the things you would advise?
One of the greatest things that I've seen, when you're wearing a hat and you get to your in-laws, the first thing that you need to do once you get into the house is to remove the hat. It's a sign of respect. So when you're having a conversation with your in-laws that is inside the house and you're still having your hat, it's disrespectful. Yes. And the other thing is about talking ill about maybe the person that you married to your in-laws. I don't think that is good manners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also not really talking a lot of stuff. You need to minimize that. Instead of expressing and talking about everything, it's good to minimize and be a great listener. Be a great listener. And
even how you call them. I mean, obviously, be very respectful with how you refer to the person. Say sir, even if you can. I mean, I find that very respectful.
It's very true.
Absolutely.
Very
I
true.
think I have some SMSs coming in, so let me try and read those. Someone here says, Jane watching from Tasia, asante sana. Emo, again, you say, I have discovered that dressing nicely. I have discovered that dressing nicely sometimes leads you into trouble because everybody thinks that you have a lot of money. But it's good. What wafikiria uko na pesa? Sasa ni wewe tu etiquette vile utasema.
It's called you fake it until you make it.
Fake it until you make it. Oh my goodness. But I don't think that's a super bad problem.
But I think it's good you dress the way you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
It's very key.
Absolutely. Because people take you seriously. And as you said, you never know who you meet. You could meet, you know, a future employer, a potential spouse. I don't know, man.
A great customer.
A great customer. That's actually a very good point, especially if you're someone in sales. Very, very important. Let me try and read some Facebook messages here. Jana Jr., you say, kudos, Sam. All what he says is absolutely true. Our young men nowadays are out of touch with reality. Joyce, you're doing a good job enlightening the people. Thank you very much for that. Lai or Limu Babes, you say, nice show, Joyce. That's Lydia watching from Kongeni. You say, there are other things that men go wrong. Proper innerwears. Enyewe dada umenena. Unapata mwanaume amevaa suti but boxer ni mzee hadi meraruka na pia vest. That's very true.
It's very true. It's very
true. If you're wearing a shirt like you're wearing, you should probably have a vest underneath it, right? So when you're sweaty and whatnot, hatuoni tu.
That's very true. Not exposing everything.
Not exposing everything. Joe Cartel, you say you're taking notes and the show is on point. Good work. Kevin Konda, you say, good morning, Joyce. I'm Kevin, tuned in from Nyeri, Chania Village. I want to ask the best suit for an interview and then which is the suitable jeans to wear. Okay, great question. And we're going to wrap up with that. Best suit for an interview? It's,
I'll say navy blue is the best.
Navy blue.
Navy blue.
And you should wear a tie.
You should wear a tie. Maybe you do a touch of red. That would do. A
touch of red.
Yes.
Maybe in the pocket square.
Maybe the pocket square and a tie.
What color should the shirt be?
White.
White.
Yes.
Crisp, clean, white, well ironed, right?
Yes, well ironed. That's another thing. Yeah.
And what about jeans? Because unajua kuna hizo za sijui green, kuna zile zimeraruka huku. Jeans mwanaume avae gani?
I would say it depends with the occasion. It depends with the occasion because when it's more like you want it a smart jean or something that you can wear it on a Friday, you do like khaki pants. It's the best.
Okay.
But if it's on a Saturday, then you can either do any jeans that maybe it can fit you.
Okay.
Yes, and even as you wind up, I also want to say that it's also good you wear something that is of your size.
Yes.
Don't do something that is oversized.
Right.
It should be fitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks very nice when it's fitted.
It looks good on you when you
Wow,
do that.
Sammy, always a pleasure to have you.
Thank
How can people get in touch with you? Lazima tu watu wangare vile Sammy amengara hapa.
We revamp people's personal image from the head to toe. You can reach through, to us through Facebook, Dress to Impress, Instagram, Dress to Impress KE. Then my account is Samuel Morage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm feeling... Maze, sijui tutafanyaje. Siku moja lazime tulete mwanaume hapa. Tumfanyie makeover. Ama unaonaje?
Yes,
you can bring in some things and then you just kind of show how men can put this together.
We have actually done a lot of makeovers for CEOs, for great people. And they feel good because when you wear something good, when you look good, you feel good.
Wacha nitatafuta suspect. Hapa kwa ikru yangu. All right. With that said, nasikia kuna volunteers tayari, kuna jamaa anaitwa Max, but anajaribu, wacha nisikanganya, anajaribu. Well done to you, Max.
Wow.
All right, here is Tony Mburu with the song Andika, and I'll be back in just a bit to wrap up this show.